Hello, everyone. Game Master here with PianoDude. Welcome to another episode of Random Ramblings.
Hello.
And this time, I don't think we really have a plan, do we? Did you make a Google
I
Doc?
have some stuff just in mind, but I don't have like anything written down.
Okay, that's good, I suppose. Um,
Try to be more of a what do they call it?
Random,
Where you just sort of dump your thoughts. I don't.
mm,
There's a word for that. I
right.
want to look it up. Um. Anyway,
Yes, awkward silence. So
so how are you? Let's just start there. Let's start with how are you?
I am fine. I've had a very fine week. My Nvidia Shield just shipped, so I'm very
Nice.
happy about that. How about you? What's been going on in your end?
It's been going pretty all right. I'm happy now that we set up a room in my house that is dedicated just to me recording things, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So sort of my own little office space for music and Minecraft.
Yeah, I wish I had that.
Yeah, so that's been good. I think that's about it for me. I'm I'm doing I'm doing.
Uh, Doing lots of things. So I don't really have any topics, honestly. I mean, I have a few, but I kind of wanted to see what you're going to talk about first.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking about just sort of YouTube in general and just sort of spinning off of that. Uh,
Right.
whenever we ended last time, we were joking about the whole, you know, let's get to, 1.5 million likes and blah 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 and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so it made me, think about, how we run our YouTube channels and what we think of how other people run their YouTube channels and, what we think is kosher and what's not. Um, so how far do you think that should go with the whole,
Like
leaving, the YouTubers asking the viewers to leave likes,
I
where do
think
you
I
think,
think it is completely ridiculous. I think it's fine at the end of the video to like say leave your feedback and like and dislike this video, but having like a pop-up, I know Ant Venom does this a lot where he'll have a pop-up like please leave a like and I'm like, well, maybe they don't like the video. So
yeah,
why are you begging like if they like the video, they'll like the video. You don't ask them for that.
yeah, I think I have sort of an in-between opinion because I think, um, I mean, I'm the sort of person who just automatically leaves a like on a video that's by somebody that I think I'm going to enjoy. So I normally don't have a problem, but occasionally I'll just forget, and sometimes I will be perfectly honest. Sometimes that pop-up will go up, and I'll be like, "Oh crap, I didn't leave a like." Um,
Yeah,
so I think
yeah.
it sort of depends because it does remind people who mean to, like who are like actual good viewers and who just forgot. But I think it crosses a line whenever you're like, well, either if it's constant or if you're setting challenges or whatever, then that's a bit
Yeah.
far for me.
Yeah, I always got really annoyed cuz I felt like I felt kind of pressured to like the video, but maybe like I didn't like the video, so,
Mm.
you know. Anyways, I don't think I'll ever end up doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I think all I do is, well, it's become sort of almost just my outro routine, leave leave a like if you enjoy, and then I'm done. It's that's about it.
Right.
Um, often I think I don't watch a lot of YouTubers that beg for likes, and I think and it's not because I'm like avoiding people who beg for likes. It's like just the people I watch don't do that.
Right.
So I don't even know why. I'm just drawn to the sort of people who wouldn't do that. Well, I guess usually the channels that do it are the sort of the flashier ones, like that you're talking about Ant Venom, or the more
Yeah. I mean,
really
you know,
super.
it's it kind of makes sense why they do it. Like they want to become more popular, but it's just anyways, I'll be quiet now.
I know I've been like talking this entire time. You go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's it's annoying. Eh, I mean, at the end of the video, it's all right because most people don't actually watch until the end of the video. Um,
Yeah,
like especially if it's a long video. I know, like 15-minute videos, I'll usually watch 10 minutes and the last 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't really need to see this. Um, I would really like it if they could have a pop up at the end of the video, like build this into YouTube where it'll pop up and actually ask you if you want to like the video or not. Because I know some people will forget, and maybe they did like the video. So
yeah,
something like that. But YouTubers don't beg people for likes. It doesn't. It doesn't. It just doesn't.
yeah. I got kind of disappointed whenever. Uh, well, I mean, like we were talking about the challenges and not really liking how those go, because that really is just begging for likes and stuff. I mean, those almost. It's like I can understand it because you're trying to get your uh, your subscribers, the people who already watch you regularly, to leave likes. But at the same time, it's like like you were saying, if they're gonna like it, then they'll like it. Um, but like I saw Nobum do that, and uh, it was like the first time he had done it. And as soon as he said it, I just got this instant sort of like now. Oh well, now I don't want to like it feeling. Like I think I already had, and then he said that, and I was like, well, you
Right.
know, it just made it feel more negative somehow. Or like it wasn't about the video, it was about let's reach 200 likes and
Yeah. Yeah. I only watch. I came to the conclusion I only watch actually a few YouTubers, and they do it really well. There's of course the small YouTubers like you and Cubelizard and all that, but there's also like Nerd Cubed. He is huge. He's almost at 2 million subscribers. He doesn't advertise or anything. He doesn't ask for likes. He doesn't even ask to subscribe. Like he just does it for fun. Of course, it's kind of his
mm,
job. But there's also Linus Tech Tips. They ask for them at the end of the video, but that's kind of out of the way and after the conclusion. And they sometimes, well, actually, they always have a sponsorship, but they manage to integrate it quite well with the actual video. Um, so yeah.
yeah, I only watch a few people too. I think I tend to watch the people who have almost more down to earth content, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because I can't watch, like, I tried watching, what is his name? Like, the Diamond something. Is it the Diamond Minecart? Or,
If you're thinking about my friend, it was the Diamond Puncher. Otherwise, I don't
uh,
know.
talking about this guy is like, millions and millions of subs, and I don't know, but, I guess I should really just say people like the PewDiePies of Minecraft, who
Right.
have just these fast, here's a shot now, here's another shot, and here's another shot, and it's just like nonstop action and craziness and screaming, and it's like I can't take that. I'm a very I'm a very low key sort of person, so yeah, I
Right.
can't take stuff like that. So I normally watch. Lately, I've been watching a lot of Good Boulder Fist. I really like it whenever he just he walks and talks. That's he sometimes. Like his Torch Tuesday episodes where he just places torches on the Minecraft server and talks about stuff. And I watch those all the way through, and they're normally like 40 minutes to an hour long. Um, if I'm watching like Vintage Beef, uh, Kurt J. Matt for the same thing with his Farlands or Bust, he just walks and talks, and I like that sort of thing. And yeah, none of them go crazy with it. It's like, I mean, they're honest about the fact that it's their job, and they would like you to leave lights, but they're honest about it, and they
Right.
don't go crazy. So I like guys like them.
Yeah. Um, it's it's interesting. Anyways, I need to really work on saying less.
I do it all the time. Don't worry about it.
So, I'm just looking around, seeing if there's anything we can talk about. Uh, do you plan on doing the ice bucket challenge?
So what?
Look it up. I think it's like ALS or something.
The
Um,
Ice Bucket Challenge.
yeah,
I think I might have seen like a hashtag for that or something, but I didn't pay any attention.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. Basically, what you do is you get an ice cold bucket of water, you dump it on your head, um, and then you also have to donate money to the ALS uh, fund or ALS charity of your choice. I think it's ALS. It might be ASL. No.
It's
Yes.
ale.
Yeah, ALS. Um, it's pretty interesting. I've been considering it because it's been so freaking hot here. Um, but I don't know.
Uh, man, so let's see. What are they? When, so here's the little thing for it. Oh no, that's just about the hashtag. Hashtag Ice Bucket Challenge. That's, this is interesting though. Um, what is ALS? Yeah, I've never heard of this. I don't know if I'll be brave enough to do it, and I don't really have the money to donate to things.
Yeah.
But now, why is the whole ice bucket thing going on? Like, why is it not just donating? Why do you have to dump a bucket of ice on your head?
I think there was a I was listening to the radio the other day, which is a very rare occurrence for me. Um, and there's this baseball player who had ALS, and he basically dumped a water bucket on his head, and then challenged other people to do the same as well as donating. And I'm not sure why an ice cold bucket of water. I guess it's just because it's more challenging. Um, but I mean, a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people are donating, so obviously it's working.
Oh, I see. Because it's a disease that affects your nerves.
Yeah, it basically
But
shuts your body
yeah,
down.
so basically saying it's basically saying I'm willing. You know, someone who had the disease, did it. So it's saying, I'm willing to do it too, and I don't even have the disease.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
yeah.
Just when
Like I said, for any of my viewers, I am considering it, but I don't think I will do it.
yeah, that's cool though. It's cool when people do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
really excited. I just speaking of charities about the Mind Crack marathon that's coming up in September. Hear about that?
no.
Yeah, they're gonna be doing well, they're gonna have namely a live UHC for one thing, which is gonna be pretty cool. I think if you donate, you can be on a mirrored server and get to watch them like you're there, but you can't affect anything.
Right, so you'd probably be put in spectator mode. That'd probably be easier.
Uh, no, because then I think it can lag out, and they're trying to make it so it can't lag the server, and players can't do anything, and they don't,
Right.
you know.
That would be kind of interesting. I'd like to see how they'd pull that off.
Yeah. So I think I'll just, watch whatever perspective they have open for live streaming and just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm excited about that because I missed the last one. Hey,
Yeah. I've watched UHC a little bit, but I haven't really been keeping up to it. I don't know why. It's just not really interested me that much.
I always get fairly into it.
Yeah, I
Although
mean, for me,
I,
it's like, oh, look, they're caving, they're getting gold. Oh, they found someone else. Oh, now they're fighting. Oh, now they're retreating. Like, it just seems very slow to me. I,
well, like I said, I like,
that's true.
but. I like it whenever people with YouTube popularity take the opportunity to use it for charity purposes. You know, like the Minecraft people do with, you know, the marathon, and like her J Matt does with his Fairlands or Bust. And, you know, I think it's, you know, really cool when people realize that they have popularity and that they can do something with it.
Hmm. Yeah. So speaking of no, actually, that's a horrible segue. I'll let you handle the segues.
Or-
Um, Robin Williams. That's what I was going to talk about.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I'll be honest. Did not recognize him. I've only watched Aladdin, and I did not recognize him as the genie. I was, I just didn't know who he was, and I felt so bad. So everyone's like, "Oh, I remember him, and he was such a great actor and comedian." And I'm like, "Who?"
Well,
So,
I mean that happened to me with some other actors. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that it happened to you with Robin Williams,
yeah, well, oh well.
but yeah, I mean, I don't want to, you know, get on to somebody for not hearing about a famous person because there's plenty of famous people that I had heard of.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, that was definitely a sad thing. I can't say that I was entirely surprised by how he went, though.
he was depressed, right? He was,
Yeah, he committed suicide.
yeah,
So obviously made me very, very sad. But you know, I can't say like I saw it coming. Like, okay, when's this guy gonna snap or anything like. But
that would just be,
when it happened, it was kind of like, okay, you know, that made sense.
yeah,
So you wouldn't want to think that it happened. You know, it made sense that it did.
yeah. Well, it just kind of reminds me of my own mortality, I
Right.
guess, or something touching like that.
I read some articles, or not some articles, but an article, uh, basically telling reporters and media to not go into detail about, you know, how he killed himself and things like that, because whenever you do that, people will try to imitate other people's suicides. If someone uh, with as much popularity as Robin Williams, you know, does whatever, you know, if they strap themselves to a bunch of TNT and jumped on a pressure plate, then or whatever,
Yeah,
then you get a whole bunch of other people trying to imitate that, who are also depressed. Uh,
yeah.
so I encourage people just to say, you know, he committed suicide and leave it at that.
Yeah. I've um yeah, I talk about something else, but I feel like I shouldn't. I should probably ask the person first. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, snap out of it. I'll be active again. Right. So will this be going on iTunes? I got asked that by someone at some point.
Oh, well, if people want it to, then what does it take to get it on iTunes? I've really never done that.
Well, I used a program called, or a website called Podbean, which made it really easy. Really, what it does is it takes the audio and just converts it to an RSS feed that you can submit to iTunes. I've done it. If anyone remembers my Hug a Creeper podcast, that was on iTunes, and I think it still is. You can actually go and download it there. Um, but yeah,
So it's just free to put it on iTunes.
yeah,
Oh,
and
well, then I don't see why not. Might as well.
yeah, I'll end up doing that at some point then.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And so far, this has been a fairly. I mean, I kind of hate saying this so early on. We're only 2 episodes in, but we've been fairly almost scheduled about it. You know, it's been record Tuesday and upload Wednesday, so
Yeah.
maybe, hopefully, this will continue to be a normal thing that we do.
Hmm. Yeah, and at some point we will have live video feeds if PianoDude ever wants to reveal himself.
Yeah,
Which probably won't happen anytime soon.
I was told this. I thought about doing a face reveal.
A face review?
Reveal.
Oh, I heard you wrong
Well, that's probably me being mumbly and yeah,
then.
enunciation. But anyway, uh, yeah, I thought about it, but Jody actually suggested that it would be too early for me to do a face reveal. Like,
Right.
he thought that when Chopper did his, it was too early. But I really don't know how that should or should not work.
I mean, really, I think the way it should work is if you want to have a face cam, do a face cam for every single video.
Yeah.
But Etho's Lab, who has never shown his face but has kind of been thinking about it, pointed out that if you have a face cam, he feels like it takes away from the game, which should be the main focus, and you
Mm.
kind of focus on their face. So,
Yeah, and I wouldn't even do Facecam for games, partially because I don't know if uh, my recording software that I have at the moment, since I haven't gotten anything better yet, I don't know if it would do it. Um, but besides that, well, like you said, I just don't really want it on my videos, and but I had thought about doing like just a live, like that was my intention whenever I put up that Q&A video, which I think I put unlisted now because it got so little response. My intention was to answer those questions on camera, and
right.
I think I told Goji that, and he said he thought it would be too early. Which I think, considering the fact that I think that as someone who isn't planning to be on camera consistently, that might be true. Um, just to sort of be like, yeah, I'm gonna randomly do this and then never appear on camera again for 2 years or whatever. That might be kind of weird if I did that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it would or
Mm-hmm.
not, but
I mean, yeah, I know what you look like, but I'm not going to tell anyone else. But I'm fairly certain everybody who has followed me on Twitter or has even looked at my Instagram knows what I look like because I'm fairly public about that.
yeah.
Um, I honestly, I don't really care. I mean, I don't see the harm in doing it. Other people might, but honestly, I personally don't see the point of hiding myself.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's just yeah, for me, it's just personal privacy, I guess. Keeping, like I keep my name, age, where I live, just that I try to keep that kind of stuff private, um, just for personal reasons and even just, safety reasons. I wouldn't want people to know where I live. I'm not popular to the point where I think I would need to be that worried about it. At
Yeah,
the same time, it's like, I don't have any reason to share that information, so I don't.
yeah. Anyways,
Like vintage beef is kind of the same way. Where like I think as much as he's given about where he lives, is he says that he's an hour north of I believe Toronto, and he
hmm
leaves with that. And he doesn't say what kind of car he drives because he says people have found him by his car.
Yeah,
Um,
he's. I mean, we all know what he looks like. We actually know what his neighborhood around him looks like. So, you know, but I'm pretty
but at the
sure.
same, there's a lot of towns that are an hour north of Toronto, and that's an estimated hour. It could be 45 minutes from Toronto for all we know.
Yeah, and in what direction too? Like,
No, he said north.
oh, okay, I missed that.
But it could be northwest or north. He could be just generalizing so many things to make it that much harder for people who want to stalk him, which is good because he's got a million subs. He is the sort of person who does need to worry about creepy stalker people finding his house.
Yeah, I mean, Nerd Cubed, who I've probably mentioned a ton on this podcast already. Um, he said in his old London flat because he just recently moved, and he hasn't told anyone where he's moved. But in his old London flat, someone showed up to the door, and he was like, "I'm so glad that my roommate opened the that my huh, that my roommate answered the door because he would have called the cops." I'm like, yeah, eh, there's a
So it's like a fan showed up to his door.
yeah, there's a fan who showed up in front of his door, because apparently they recognized like some scratches on the floor that led into their door or something. I'm not sure. Oops, sorry
That
about that.
that's crazy. No, that was fine. Um, huh. Yeah, part of me would not want to be that famous.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a tipping point where it's like, do I want to be this famous? Because this will probably make me, kind of a target for people.
Hmm.
So,
Unfortunately, in the entertainment business, whatever you do, whether you're a YouTuber or a musician or whatever, you whenever you're doing it professionally and it's how you make your living, you're either um, you know, barely making it along, you have a small apartment and you're living on ramen noodles, or you're a millionaire who, plays at the Madison Square Garden every other year. It's like there's not a whole lot of in between. You're either living in a hole in the ground or you're really popular.
it's funny that you say that because the room that I'm currently sitting in is actually partially underground.
Mine might be. I don't know. Um, it brings that metaphor to a whole new level.
Yes, the above ground level. So
But where I was going with that was it makes it sort of a hard decision as some because like I'm someone who would like to be an entertainer for a living if I could possibly do it. Um, Maybe not a YouTuber, but I would like to be, a professional musician. But at the same time, it's like, do I want to be that famous? Because that's the only way you can really be very successful.
yeah,
Unless, I mean, as an artist, you can do other things in the music business, like you can be a producer or whatever and still be involved. But that's not really what I want to do. So you have to weigh your options, I suppose.
hmm
Sorry, what were you about to say?
nothing. I was about to start rambling about nonsensical things, which I suppose is
Oh,
the point of this podcast,
that's
but
the point of it. Yeah, exactly. That's literally the name of the game.
yeah. Um, I'm trying to think here. Uh, quick, start googling random topics. Random topic generator. There we go.
Be apologizing too, because I've been doing so much more of the rambling than you, and I need to learn to
Yeah.
share.
No, no, it's good. It's good that you're talking. I enjoy taking the technical side, so whatever. Um, where does I guess I could ask you this. Where does your name originate from? Why the piano dude?
The Piano Dude is a username that I've had for a while. Like I'd used it just for years for all kinds of stuff. If anytime I played a game, pretty much I just used it, and that was because I didn't really have anything better. But it originated because I played the piano, and at the time that I used it, it was the only instrument that I played. I mean, now I play guitar and well, mainly just guitar at this point. And I play piano a bit less, but that used to be like my main instrument, and I was really super into it. So that I made that my name, and then whenever uh, I got my Minecraft account, that was just what I automatically put. And then later I was like, man, that name sucks for a YouTube because it's gonna look like a music channel. Um, so I
Yeah,
came up with the Piano Games Network as something to make it more like, hey, this is a gaming channel, you know. Um, and I thought for a very long time about, just spending the $20 or $30 or whatever to get a new account that sounded more gamey, so I could have something for my YouTube. But I'm piano now, so whatever.
yeah. Well, my story is slightly longer. I think I actually mentioned this when you asked how I got started on YouTube the other last podcast last week.
Yeah, that's
But I used to play this game called Grawl, and for some reason or another, I chose the name or the username Gmemster, Gmemstr. I have no idea why I chose that name, but
mhm.
that's just the name I chose. And when I was creating my YouTube account, I went Gmemster. It's already taken. Well, crap. Um, so me and my friend, mind you, I was quite a bit younger. This was, I want to say, 2011, 2012. Me and my friend used to play this game called Trigger and Blade, where we were secret agents, and I was good with swords, he was good with guns, whatever. That's entirely irrelevant. Well, maybe it's a bit relevant, but anyways. So I just put Blade at the end, became G Memster Blade. And slowly over time, I started to, morph that into actually calling myself Game Master. Well, I'd call myself Game Master from the beginning, but that's not how you spelt it. Um, and then slowly, just like when I got Minecraft, I put Gmemster, and I've actually got I think three usernames that I mainly use: Game Master, Gmemster, and Gmemster Blade.
hmm
So
Now you use Game Master, but with uh no ER, just an R,
yeah,
right?
I think it just adds a little bit of flair.
A bit of flair, spice,
Yeah,
Shazam.
yeah. I don't I don't I don't really know why I chose Game Master, considering I'm not great at very many games.
Hmm.
Um, but it's kind of stuck. And anyways, so we're about half hour in, and we have completely run out of things to talk about.
Or have we?
You probably haven't. You probably have some brilliant segue into a brilliant topic that we'll talk about for the remaining half hour.
Oh, totally. Now, do we want to go for an hour?
It's up to you. I mean, I have plenty of time, but you know,
I mean, I do too. I just don't know if the viewers want us. I mean, that's something I think that we should really ask now before we get too much further in is, viewers, do you want us to make these an hour long, or would you rather them be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something shorter like that? Um, because this is really about what you guys want. So you guys should really leave a comment on whichever video you're watching and let us know that. 'Cause that'd be
yeah, that would be extremely helpful.
um on sort of on the last topic. I'm trying hard to remember what. Oh, I remember. I had the dumbest name that I wanted to change to. Like, I think I made a YouTube for it and everything. I didn't post anything, but like, I was ready to change my IGN and stuff to like the Wizard of Boz, which looking back was like the dumbest idea ever.
Right.
But like, and I've been trying to remember that name for like 5 minutes. Huh. So you guys could have been watching The Wizard of Oz instead of the Piano Dude.
That would have been odd.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like you and Jody and everybody already knew me as Piano, so it was gonna be kind of weird for you guys to start calling me Boz or whatever.
Yeah, I just
But
created a straw poll that will link down below, hopefully. And basically, it's just an easy way to vote. So R&R length, longer, 1 hour podcast, shorter podcast, or I don't mind. You pick.
alrighty, so that will be in both our descriptions, I assume,
Yeah,
for any of you who want to use it, or just if you want to leave a comment or both, that would be great.
it'd probably be easier with the straw poll, but they choice is up to you.
Yeah.
So anyways, what do you think of all these zombie survival games that have recently been coming out?
Well, I really haven't. The only other one, other than like, I've been hearing about all the announcements for uh, Daisy on PS4 that, that's supposedly working on that and stuff along those lines. The only two game I think I've heard of two games other than DayZ, um, to survive the night and Unturned.
Yeah, Unturned is fantastic. I played Unturned and DayZ, and I think Unturned is actually a lot better. And some people are going to disagree and say, it's just a DayZ ripoff and it looks like Minecraft. But honestly, the crafting in it is superb. Um, it's got a big enough map that you can get lost, but it's small enough that you don't get completely lost. Um, and it has very nice landmarks. It's got a great community. I personally would pick Unturned over DayZ.
Wow, that's quite a review there.
Yeah, I'll be doing a video on it either after we record this or tomorrow with my friend because he's actually coming over today. You might see him.
Well,
Um,
forward to
but
it.
pardon?
So I look forward to that.
Yeah, you should. But
Hmm.
and besides that, it's free to play while in development, which I think is a huge bonus. Because DayZ, I mean, the thing with early access games is you pay and you get a game that's unfinished and it could change in any number of ways during the development. And you're kind of locked in because you've paid this money. So you kind of feel like you need to play the game and kind of get the most out of it. Like I bought DayZ and I played it like twice. I didn't like it that much. Now it is in development, etc., etc., so on. Still didn't like it. Unturned, however, completely free. Downloaded it. I've enjoyed it immensely. So, kind of a word of the wise, if you're going to make an early access game, make it free to play. Make it sort of an open alpha or open beta because it works so much better. You get so many more people who can give you feedback and you also get a lot more support. I know I've bought actually two gold memberships for Unturned, one for me and one for my friends. So,
Hmm. So yeah, I didn't know it was free to play. That makes me want to check it out now because I hadn't been that interested because I don't really get into the zombie stuff. But maybe we can try it out together at some point.
yeah.
Just, no promises on that, guys. Don't be like, "Where's the collab?" if it doesn't happen. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've seen some videos and I couldn't tell if it was something I would like or not, but I think it might be.
Yeah, I mean, it gets kind of boring when you get really good, which I'm kind of at that tipping point of do I keep playing? Do I take risks? Do I keep camping out? Um, right now, I'm just kind of building a solid base. Um, but a few things I'd like to see from the developer is a dedicated server software so I don't have to run Unturned to run the server. And there might be a way to do that. I'm not sure, but it would be really, really helpful. Because like, hey, can you put up your unturned server? I'm like, sorry, I'm kind of AFK and I can't play the game at this moment. So that's kind of my only complaint.
Yeah, and this is all made by like a 16-year-old kid, right?
Yep. And from where it's located, I guess he lives in PEI, but I could be wrong, considering that the map is PEI.
Huh. So had you played any of the Survive the Night?
No, I haven't. I haven't actually heard about it until now.
I only know about it because of Frankie on PC, who I watch sometimes, but he did a little bit of gameplay on it, and it looks like basically a better version of DayZ. Not like Unturned is supposedly a better version or whatever, but like it has the same, high graphics and things like that, and a lot of the same mechanics, but a lot of things they've added a bunch of little things to improve it.
Yeah,
Um, just like
I
sort of
I'm
like the
taking a
things in
look at the
DayZ where you play it and it's like, why the heck can't you do that? You can do it in this game.
yeah. I'm looking at the Kickstarter which I just sent over to you, and it looks almost. It reminds me almost of 7 Days to Die for some reason. Like that sort of art style
See, I
looks.
hadn't heard of that until just now.
Yeah, it looks very similar to 7 Days to Die. So I mean, it looks different, which is good. Um, but we'll see how different it actually is.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I don't. The only zombie game I really knew, like zombie survival, was DayZ for the longest time. And then just all of a sudden, YouTubers that I watched started playing Unturned, and then there's like a review for this, and it was like, okay, I'd heard people talking about, oh, all the zombie games that are coming out, and it's like, what zombie games?
Yeah, well, you just kind of have to look at Steam Greenlight.
Right. Well, I don't even have like, I don't have Steam, so I don't see any of these.
Yeah, you might want to sign up for that if you want to play some Unturned. Just saying.
Oh, do you need Steam for that?
Yes, um, yes, I'm actually 100% sure.
Oh, alright. See, the reason I never bothered was I don't have much money, and the money I do have, I don't want to spend on games. So there's almost no point for me, and I'm not even interested in really playing much besides Minecraft.
Hmm.
And I don't even play Minecraft all that much anymore. So it was like I don't really care about video games as much in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's free to play, so just go ahead and grab it. If you want the gold upgrade, which is really just cosmetic items, then I can do that for you.
No, 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 don't don't have to spend money on me, darling.
I'm not. I'm just donating the money to the developer, the brilliant developer. I apologize for all those who take offense with my accent.
Oh, mine was worse, don't worry. Well, actually, but mine I was just as bad. I mean, I'll say that. Both of our accents suck, though.
Hmm. Yeah.
Now, never mind. That's random.
Well, go ahead then.
It's the name of the game, right? This has absolutely nothing to do with anything we've been talking about till this point at all. But do you think it's more offensive to say something, like say something in another language with a mock accent or with your natural accent?
Is okay. Um,
If you're saying something in German and you're imitating a German accent, is that more offensive than being like, you know, I'm trying to think of something like, is it, I don't know any German, but like Voldenhagen or whatever, if that's even a word, which I have absolutely no idea.
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen, yeah. Is it more offensive to be like that or just Volkswagen or whatever? You know,
I'm not sure.
Voldenhagen or whatever versus Voldenhagen. It's like, what's more offensive to German speakers?
I'm not sure actually. I know my coworker's girlfriend is German, so I could ask, but I think it kind of depends also like who you're imitating as well, because like if I imitate, Apu from The Simpsons, that might sound slightly racist, so I'm not gonna do it. But I think it really just
Really?
depends what nationality you're imitating or whatever, or how
Mm,
badly the accent is done.
yeah.
So, yeah.
There's, I know when I was taking Spanish, it's like, I was trying hard to like legitimately get the accent, to make it sound right. Because if you say it like an American, then you sound weird and like you're trying to, make fun. But at the same time, I didn't want to like get it half right because then I felt like I was still, I feel like it was still seeming like I was being offensive, like I was only, trying to half do it. It's like either way I went, it was like I feel like if I try it with the accent, it's gonna sound bad, and if I try it without, then it's gonna sound bad or worse.
The great struggle.
These are the questions that need answering.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Well,
That was so random.
it was random, but that's good. We're improving very slowly. Um, so, huh.
Or we are. 45 minutes in.
45 minutes in, and we got 50 minutes left. Um,
We could just do a 45-minute video if we don't have anything else to talk about.
yeah, I suppose so. So, we're wrapping up this episode. Be sure to leave a billion like. No, I'm kidding. I'll be quiet. I'll let Piano do the outro because I did the
Under the
intro.
podcast, stick them up and give us a like.
This is a hold up. Just walk into a bank with a tablet. Give us your likes.
Give us your likes. Stick them up, except that one hand that can push the like button.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
there you go. Okay, you're good. Now you.
yeah.
Oh, we're idiots.
They're not idiots. It actually sounds like a pretty good idea.
Oh God.
Yes. If you see someone who looks like me on the news, it's not me. But moving right along here, feel free to do whatever you want with this video. Share it, download it with Off Liberty because I'm open like that. I don't know if you
I
endorse
really
that, but
don't care. Like, I'm totally open to the whole free download thing. It's like if you guys just don't feel like listening to it via YouTube, feel free to download it however way you want.
yeah. I mean, another thing, like people argue Off Liberty is like illegal and stuff, but really when you think about it, the video is still downloading to your computer. It's just in a very hidden place. So you know, like and SoundCloud and stuff. Like people say, "Oh, you have to pay for it, and if you don't pay for it, then it's illegal." But really, you're streaming it from the internet, which means it's going to your computer. It's getting stored somewhere. So you might as well like move it out.
Well,
Like I
I
don't
feel
know.
like I would on the music I would sort of disagree because I feel like it still is illegal because I mean just because of the fact that if someone is uploading it and they're asking for money, then you know they're musicians and that's how they make their money. I mean, I'm gonna be perfectly honest and say that I'm perfectly guilty of, illegally ripping music. Um, because if I paid $10 for every single album that I have, I would be, in massive, massive debt, just because of all the music I have. But at the same time, I understand people. As a musician, I understand why it annoys people whenever people.
Yeah.
I've been saying people a lot. But,
Yeah. I mean, I try to buy as much as I can. With this Google Unlimited thing, I don't really know how to feel because I am paying $10 a month, and I get to download whatever I want for free. But I don't quite get how they're being paid, which kind of makes me a bit uneasy. So
mm,
it's a little bit disconcerting when you don't actually know what your money's getting used for.
yeah. But I basically what I do now is if I really want to support somebody, then I try my best to pay for their music, or if it's something I really, really enjoyed, then I try my best to pay for it. Um,
Yeah,
but I don't do it for everything, unfortunately, because I just don't have that kind of money.
yeah.
But
I mean, now
um,
that I have a job, I kind of feel like I could pay for this stuff. Um, but on the other hand, it's like, you know, I don't use it. Like, okay, I'll move on to software instead of music because I listen to music all the time, and obviously it's worth the money. But things like Adobe Premiere, I use that maybe once or twice a week. So me dropping you know however much it is, like a grand or something on that to use it twice a week, I don't really see the advantage to that. So if they could have something like a casual user license where it's super cheap, um, and it runs fine. Maybe there's a few of the more advanced features taken out because really I just use it for syncing up audio and video and all that. So,
mhm.
I don't need things like super high definition transitions or, you know, overlays or, keyframing or any of that fancy stuff. I just want to splice the video together.
Yeah, I think as far as software goes. I I mean, that's part of the reason why I don't have good software is because I wasn't really willing to, uh, well, I wasn't willing to pay as much as they were asking for the software that I was going to need. But I also didn't feel right about, ripping it from somewhere. Um, Mostly because I was just, you know, Minecraft YouTubing is just my hobby, and it's like, it's not worth for me, like, it's not worth paying for it, but it's not the sort of thing. It's like with music, like I was saying, I buy so much of it that if I actually bought it, then it would be completely ridiculous. But since I don't get much software, it's like if I get it, then I want to just pay for it and get the stuff I want. But I wasn't at a place where it was worth buying. However, I'm getting to that place now with what I'm doing with my YouTube. I'm doing more editing and things like that. So I might look into buying it. My whole point to this was it wasn't stuff that I like, kind of like you're saying, that I would use enough to warrant paying for it or really ripping it for me. Like neither one was worth it.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
sort of just using the free stuff that came with my computer.
Yeah. I mean, if I ever got to that point where I was producing videos every single or releasing a video every single day, maybe I would like be like, okay, I might need to invest a bit of money into this to get like the latest updates and stuff. But
Hmm.
at this point right now, I'm like, this is my hobby. I just want some software that works. Here
Yeah,
we go.
yeah, exactly. That the whole hobby thing is a really good way of putting it because I think with software, it's like if it's for a hobby, then I want to either, well, if it's just for a hobby, then it's really not worth paying for, but it's not important enough that I feel the need to rip it.
Right.
But if it's for something professional, like if you're looking to make money on something, then I would not feel right ripping it then, definitely, most definitely, because I'd be making money off with something that I did not pay for.
Right.
And it's obviously important enough if it's going to make me money, then it's worth the investment. I like that you use the word investment because I think that's very an important factor in that.
Yeah. I've yeah, it's monetization of software is so complicated because it's software, right? People download it and they can share it however they want, really.
Hmm.
I mean, they try to implement DRM and licenses and stuff, but they just end up being cracked, which means that it's kind of rendered completely useless. So, it's piracy is a very it's an incredible force to say the least.
Yeah, and there's fine lines there, definitely.
hmm Anyways, so we've managed to fill out well, almost an
Almost an hour.
hour. Yeah. So I suppose we'll start wrapping up. Be sure to leave. Well, actually, you can do the outro.
Oh, want me to?
Yeah.
Well, whichever. If you enjoyed this, then we would appreciate it if you left likes. If you didn't like it, then feel free to leave a dislike. Just as long as you leave a comment telling us what you didn't like about it, so we can improve, because that's the most important thing about negative critiques is helping people improve. And if you have not subscribed to Game Master, then go over and check out his channel. I think you'll enjoy his content.
And
And
do the same for PianoDude. Head over to his channel.
thank you. And the straw poll for how long you want the videos to be, if you want them to be about, an hour long like this one is, or if you want them to be shorter, closer to 30 to 45 minutes, or if you just don't care, then that straw poll will be in both of our descriptions.
Yep.
So
Anyways,
for
signing
listening,
off.
ramble on the Random Ramblings podcast. We will see you guys later.
See ya.